the Valley of the Sun and University of Phoenix Stadium here in Glendale. It's certainly hot outside here in the desert, but somehow this Cardinal crowd turned up the heat a moment ago. They were in a frenzy as their team emerged from the tunnel, and the Cardinals, they're set to do battle with the Denver Broncos. Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season, Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. They'll run with a former Tar Heel, TJ Logan. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
You better get in the weight room, son. I'm too strong out here. Too big for you. Hey, that's what I'm talking about. Gotta hurry, gotta hurry. Let's go.
A first carry now for Kareem Hunt. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And it'll be 3rd down.
Turbo. Hey, check, Mike 21, Mike. Here we go, Monday.
From the gun, Bradford. Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge. And that's good enough for a first down.
Here we go. Gotta hurry, gotta hurry. Here we go. Stop right there. Stop right there. Switch.
First down, Bradford. Airing this one out for Fitzgerald. And it's incomplete. Boy, he doesn't drop many like that one. 2nd down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Monday.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he stopped behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And it's going to be 3rd down and a ways to go here. 3rd and 14.
Monday.
On play action, Bradford going up top. And that's caught inside the 35. A big gain of 38 there on 3rd down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Here we go. Stop right there. Stop right there.
On 1st and 10, Bradford will try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Yeah, baby. Yeah, baby.
Counting down toward the midway point in quarter one. Now a 2nd down throw for Bradford. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down. And the pocket's been protected pretty good here so far on the opening drive.
We always talk about confidence in runners and catchers and quarterbacks. How about the protection detail? They're not allowing anyone near the guy throwing the football.
And this will be play number 8 of the opening drive. It's 3rd and short. They'll throw again. Bradford. And he's got Fitzgerald. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Big completion there on 3rd and short. Keeps their opening drive alive.
Not only alive, but plenty of possibilities now. 1st and goal, and you know me. I'm a big advocate. If you're going to throw the ball, throw it early in the down and distance count.
And now some motion before the snap. And this will be our first penalty of the night's proceedings. That false start knocks them back behind the 10 now as they'll try again. 1st and goal. On the run, this is Hunt. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. He'll get 2 out of that run, and it's going to bring up a 2nd and goal.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball in this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
Here we go. Stop right there. Stop right there.
He'll get it up the middle. And they're going to get him down, but not before a pretty good run right there. 7 big yards on the carry there to get him within range of the goal line with 3rd down upcoming.
Here we go. Turbo.
They'll try to run with Hunt, and he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage, back at the 6. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4th.
Now I would be surprised if they go for it. 3 points is not ideal. It's not what they want, but it's still only the first half. Take the 3 points and move on.
And Dawson's kick is good. And the Cardinals have the first points. It's 3-0. So they get 3, certainly hoping for 6 after a 13-play drive.
So you console yourself on defense by saying you did your job, right? If they go 13 plays, you only give up a field goal, you did a nice job there. But here's the other part. 13 plays, you don't force any mistakes, you don't take the ball away. Maybe that's the way they should look at it.
That'll be taken in the end zone. Oh, what a move. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line.
Here we go, boys.
First carry for Royce Freeman. And he'll take this up only to about his 18-yard line. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Being chased out left, and they're able to bring him down at the 20. All that gets him is just a yard, and now it's 3rd down. Throwing is Keenum on 3rd down. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he's able to get up here to the 26. The screen good for 6, but it's not enough as it leads to a 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump. And now on 4th and 1, it's a fake. Going absolutely nowhere. He'll wind up losing a yard or 2. A little trickeration there, but it doesn't fool him.
Anytime a fake doesn't work, we usually focus our attention on the guys that were unsuccessful. But how about the defensive guys? They have to plan all week. They have to prepare all week. Special teams, they look like they were educated for that one.
Educated on their toes and getting a big stop. And down inside the 15 he goes. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
That's a football play right there. That takes me back a little bit. Toss sweep to the right. Get it to your back. Get a lot of people out in front. Control the line of scrimmage. Wide receivers blocking downfield. It almost feels like half the crowd is in front of him, getting it down to the secondary. They have a tough time getting him down.
Bradford now to throw on 1st down. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
It's interesting, partner, that most defenses try and guard the 35-yard line actively because they think the way kickers are nowadays, about a 52-yard field goal, they're kind of giving up points. But you get even deeper into territory, you get into the red zone, they're going to guard it even more, which means more pressure, more blitzing.
Bradford to throw it. And Gresham's got it over the middle. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down.
One of the things you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
In their mind, certainly a field goal try would be a letdown. They had the great starting field position, now facing 3rd down. Now a whistle, and I think a penalty here for a delay. No, they're going to say timeout. They did get the timeout in time. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. The Cardinals on 3rd down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Working out of the gun, Bradford. That is caught at the 7-yard line. And here he'll get it down to the 7. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield.
Turbo. Hey. You got 3. Three down.
Bradford to throw for it on 4th. Now a hit, and the ball comes out. Bradford's lost it. But I think a Cardinal was able to gain possession, yes, so they will hold on to the ball.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because This is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction down.
No, bottled up fumble. It's out. It's loose. But it looked like, fortunately, the Broncos able to recover. Call it luck or skill, whatever the case is, they're feeling good about just keeping the football there.
Yeah, the biggest thing that they're calling it now, our ball. They don't care if it was luck or skill. Or the panic that jumps up in your chest when that ball's on the ground. Whether you get it or your teammate gets it, just as long as you retain possession, that's all you're looking for.
This is Freeman on 1st and 10. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Robert Kimdichie, the one to bring him down.
Early down stuff's to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
Let's go. 22.
Now Keenum throwing on second. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Pressure, and that's certainly going to be a key to this game going forward. And that time, they were able to get in there and influence the throw. Remember, quarterbacks got to get rid of it. They don't have the Tucker rule that they can fall back on anymore.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. On 3rd down, it's Lindsay. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. Give him 8 yards on the carry, and that's going to bring up 4th down.
Another down on the scoreboard, but the urge to go for it is almost irresistible here on 4th and short. Yeah, I know they're on their own side of the field.
I was going to say.
Normally, I would say punt the ball away, but I'm feeling it. I say go for it.
They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And on the last drive, they were in field goal range. They just opted not to kick it, didn't get it. How does that change the mentality this go-around?
I don't think it changes much for the head coach because this is what he preaches all the time. Attack at all times in any spot on the field, and he likes touchdowns, not field goals. Now, your field goal kicker, you've got to make sure you nurse him through and say, okay, don't worry about it. When we need you, you've got to be ready to go. And the team, of course, loves to see points on the board. So let's see if it changes a little bit from the same spot again.
Well, we'll see what the decision is here if they get to that spot. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Here we go.
2 minutes to go here in the first half. More from the desert after this.
Monday.
2nd down, Bradford. Fitzgerald bringing it in over the middle. And they're able to get this one across the 35. A couple of vets fighting each other there for a Cardinal first down. Bradford to Fitzgerald.
Monday.
A first down throw for Bradford. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's taken down, but not before getting this across midfield and just shy of the 40. And a nice gain of 21 yards. Bradford now nearly perfect. 9 of 10 in this first half. It's 1st and 10.
Check. 3 down. Monday.
Bradford on first down. Throw right side is going to be caught by Kirk. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. The slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
And he stopped immediately there. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be 3rd down.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
The Cardinals on third down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. From the shotgun, it's Bradford. And able to find Kirk, complete. Touchdown, Cardinals. Christian Kirk, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Cardinals now adding on to their lead. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here in the second quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.
And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The Broncos offense now gets ready to head back onto the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk is a big decision here.
The Cards get to him here. He's brought down for a sack. Marcus Golden. Now the Broncos going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. Third and long. It's Keenum. Oh, ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Picked off by the veteran Antoine Bethea. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. And now we'll get a late timeout as it comes in the waning moments of quarter number 2. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. From the right hash, it's a 35-yard attempt. And Dawson's kick is good. The second half upon us sooner than we bargained for. Week 7, second half. Let's do it. So we reach halftime here in Glendale with the Cardinals on top. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Here comes the Broncos offensive unit here as they'll have it first to begin this third quarter. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution, or did they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. And he will find his man for the first time, Demaryius Thomas. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. First catch there for Thomas. It's a first down.
Let's go.
Now a handoff. It's Freeman. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
Well, if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
To throw on second down is Keenum. And on the catch right side, this is Sanders. And now running right through it. And he's going to be out of bounds, but able to take it inside the 40-yard line. That goes for a gain of 31. And this hasn't been the typical game, no doubt, for Emmanuel Sanders. They've really limited him.
He's one of those players that provides a real spark when he gets going. And when he does it, it's felt by the rest of the team, and they're feeling it in this one because right now they're trailing.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And a short gain down to about the 33. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Keenum to throw on second down. Left side here to Sanders. Yeah, that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. He lost 2 there, and it's third down.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though.
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal. First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. And now he'll tuck it and run. No gain there as he kept it himself at second down.
Man, it's a tough area in the field to try and run a draw play out of the gun. You know you're going to face a good push up front, and here they swallow him up for no gain.
Another shot from the 1 on second and goal. They come up in an offset eye. They'll give it to him up the middle. And he will fight his way into the end zone for a Bronco touchdown. It's the fullback, his first touchdown on the year. And the Broncos draw a bit closer. McManus's point after is good, and it's now 13-7. So here comes the kickoff, and what now is just a one-score, 6-point game. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. The Cardinals offense now ready to get their first opportunity here in the second half. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense get the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3 and out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back on the field.
And that's caught inside the 35. Touchdown, Cardinals. J.J. Nelson, his third touchdown now on the year. And the Cardinals will extend their lead. The Cardinal offense not going anywhere. They'll stay out and go for 2. Now Bradford. Eluding the pressure right. And he's got it. So the try for 2 successful. And that bumps their lead up even further. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. And Denver getting set to take the field. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2-minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
And this one complete to Virgil Green. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A good pickup there, 26 yards. This is Freeman. And down to the 44, 5 yards that time.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
On play action, now Keenum. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Green. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Keenum now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. They go play action here on 1st down. Out to his left. That is caught at the 7. And they do get him down, but not before he reaches the 4-yard line. That one goes for 24 yards. Now it's Keenum. Trying to get it to Thomas, and it's intercepted. Zach Cunningham with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
As much football as we watch, we've seen this work many times. In the red zone, 1st down, take a shot at the end zone, and points result. In this case, though, give credit to the defense. They outguessed them, were prepared, and intercepted the pass.
And a nice gain there as he'll be taken down just shy of the 20. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
3rd quarter, and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Now Bradford on 2nd down. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
And that's the 2nd sack of the game, but this player, disruptive in all phases, whether he's going upfield, coming underneath, you name it. He's a big-time guy you have to block.
After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
No run call here. They'll look to throw instead. That's caught on the left side by Kirk. And they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line. It's a pickup of 13, but they're still a bit short, and it'll be 4th down. Here's Andy Lee now. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the 3rd. Back now here on EA Sports as we are set to bring you the home stretch here, the 4th quarter. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. And the play clock is going to run out here. They're in no hurry to get a play off. That's going to set them back 5 yards. Here's Andy Lee now. Always a good sign when your first punt comes in the 4th quarter. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. And just a 30-yard punt that time. And it'll be a short field for the Broncos as they take over 1st and 10. And Denver getting set to take the field. And the interception thrown in the red zone last time. We'll see if they can rebound.
I just have to think the last thing he said as they went back out there was, don't do that again. What do you think?
What do you think?
Yeah, I think that. I think that not only did he say that, but he also told him, let's put it in the end zone that it's supposed to be in, all right? The end zone we're trying to score. I know we're being a little bit facetious here, but the bottom line is take care of the football and everything else should flow from there.
Quick lesson, never ask the play-by-play guy a question.
Hey, you're my partner. I know you're right there with me.
And for a third time tonight, he's intercepted. Zach Cunningham with a pick. And he's got daylight. It's a foot race. And he will score. Touchdown, Cardinals. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them to the punch each and every defense that was well prepared.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This is taken about 7 yards deep. Room here to run. He's got a convoy, and he might be gone. And all the way home for a Broncos score. As his guys are in for 6, and the Broncos cut into that lead.
And as we've talked to special teams coaches, that theme of being aggressive continues to come through, doesn't it? When they moved the kickoff back to the 35, it was going to cut down on the number of opportunities. But if you've got a special guy, you give him the green light no matter where he fields in the end zone. And in this case, it paid off handsomely.
He fielded it deep in the range of emotions. Maybe like, oh, no, don't. And then all of a sudden you see him break it. And you're like, yeah, way to go.
Yeah, sometimes you have to remind your head coach that he approved the green light for bringing it out from deep in the end zone. And that's exactly why he did.
Hey, gotta hurry.
On 1st and 10, Bradford. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. Space to maneuver at the 40. As he'll get this one up to the 44-yard line. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
They'll run it here with Hunt. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So on the big tight end, holding.
Each and every year, we talk about very few tight ends coming into the league that are polished blockers or asked to do it a lot in college. So it's a constant struggle and a constant fight to learn how to do it without holding.
Bradford. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. It's a gain of 7, and that'll make it 2nd and 12.
Sometime in this fourth quarter, someone on defense is going to have to step up and force a turnover.
This is Logan. And very little daylight there. He'll get a couple up to the 44.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
So now 3rd and 10, a big play to start the drive, but nothing since. Bradford. Flushed out right. He finds Coleman. And they're able to get this one down to the 25. A big gain of 31 on 3rd down. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
Here we go.
Bradford to throw it this time. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
The Cardinals on third down. They've had good success, 5 for 8 to this point. This is going to be 3rd and 13. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. It's a gain of 5, but it'll lead to a 4th down.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
And Dawson missed it. He missed it. No good. Wide to the right, and this score will stay right where it is. So it's an empty trip downfield there as they get a missed field goal on 4th down.
And I didn't see anything in the setup. It's a good snap, good hold.
Yep.
He just pushed it, and that one never wanted to come back.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Escaping the pressure right. Now he's going to throw it back deep over the middle. So they took a shot on 1st down but couldn't connect.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. 2nd and 10. Keenum here again. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. Throwing on 3rd down. Keenum steps away to his left. He's got his man here. It's Green. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40. 75 yards receiving for him now. It's a 1st down. Keenum now on 1st down. Dancing to his left. And incomplete on the deep ball. Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Keenum will try again on 2nd down. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. It's a gain of 5. And that'll lead here to a 3rd down. Now Keenum on the move to his left. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Zach Cunningham with a pick, and the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line. And that gives him now 3 interceptions in the game.
Well, someone's locked into what they're trying to get done in the passing game. When was the last time we had someone get 3 in a contest?
2011, wasn't it? Kurt Coleman.
Oh, yeah, that's
then
right.
With the Eagles.
That's right. Then with the Eagles.
That's correct. They'll begin the drive with Hunt. And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. Now the Broncos are going to take a timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play.
Here we go.
On the carry, it's Logan. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36.
Now, that's a nice play. Got me fired up, partner. But can they do it back-to-back plays? All the training that you go through as a defense for these situations, when you have to get the ball back, everything you go through, holding up the runner, raking at the football, getting to the passer, knocking it out of his hands, whatever way, they have to get the ball back.
Now can they stand tall again for a huge fourth-quarter stop? On third down, it's Hunt. A beautiful fake. He gets a good chunk of yards there, 8 all told, but they're still looking at a fourth down. I love the look you just gave me because I know what you're thinking. If you're going to run towards the perimeter, you better either stay in bounds or get the first down or both. He did neither.
Imagine the looks he's getting right now from his team, from his coaches. They go over those scenarios all the time, and as you said, he did neither.
And Denver getting set to take the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know what, a good one.
And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by Jamar Taylor. Well, they were obviously backed up, had a little bit of space from the goal line, snapping it from the 3, but still trying to throw it, and...
Yeah, exactly. This is where hindsight is 20/20 comes into play, right? Seems like a good idea to throw the ball there. Maybe you'll surprise them and catch them off guard. Instead, you created a turnover and put your defense in a bad spot.
And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. I guess the simple question, why not just take a knee there?
I don't understand either why you would take any sort of a chance. We've seen it happen in the game of football. Doesn't matter whether you've watched high school, college, or the NFL. Some people get a little greedy, try to get that extra running play in, and it can backfire on them.
And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. 7 yards on the carry, make it 3rd and 4 coming up. Charles, why didn't they just take the knee there?
Asking as well, because we've seen a lot of football where coaches decide maybe they get a little greedy. I don't know if they're doing it for stats or for what reason. We've seen it happen in college and it happened in the NFL. The miracle